This is about defending democracy. This is no longer Democrats versus Republicans. What do you want your kids to believe in? There must be give and take.
This is White Flag with Joe Walsh.
Hey, a new CBS News poll out this weekend shows that Nikki Haley is coming pretty damn close to Donald Trump in the state of New Hampshire. Of all the national polls and state polls, this is the first poll that we've seen that shows that someone is within striking distance, some Republican is within striking distance of Trump. Let me say something important at the outset. People like me, who are called never Trumpers, we get unfairly tagged with the rap that we want and need Trump around because it keeps us going, it pays our bills, it does all of that. That we even though we can't stand Trump, we need Trump to be the guy so that we have something to bitch about every day. The argument goes like that. I won't speak for other never Trumpers. I'll speak for myself. I wish Donald Trump were gone. I don't want Donald Trump running for president. I don't want him anywhere close to the White House again. I most certainly do not want him to win. I want any other Republican to get the nomination. I'm not saying I'd vote for any other Republican. I won't. But I want any other Republican to be the nominee. I do not want Donald Trump to be the nominee. When I say that I believe Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy, I mean it. And so I don't want him president. I don't want him to be the nominee. I don't want him running. I don't want him to be the leader of my former political party. I don't want him around. I wish he were on some island in the middle of nowhere and we never heard from him again. It doesn't matter to me what it does to me personally or professionally. It's all about the country. I'm speaking for myself as a never Trumper. I'm not speaking for any other never Trumper. But this CBS News poll over the weekend, a state poll, New Hampshire, Donald Trump is at 44%. Nikki Haley is at 29%. And then you got DeSantis 11%, Christie 10%, Ramaswamy 5%. This is in the state of New Hampshire only. The top line, the headline, Trump's at 44%, Nikki Haley's at 29%. This is by far the closest any other Republican has gotten to Trump in a national or a state poll. Right now, I think the CBS News poll over the weekend in Iowa shows Trump way up, like 58 to 20% over DeSantis. Nationally, Trump has increased his lead, like 69%. The closest to him is DeSantis at 12%. So this is news. 44%, 29% for Haley. New Hampshire's governor, Chris Sununu, endorsed Nikki Haley last week. He's a popular governor. What does it mean? It means that, and again, New Hampshire's a funky state. I campaigned in New Hampshire. It's an open primary. Independents and Democrats can vote in the Republican primary. The live free or die state, it's an independent conservative state. Trump's doing better in Iowa. Trump's doing better traditionally in more of the conservative evangelical states. That's not New Hampshire. So if there were a state where Trump could be upset by someone like a Nikki Haley, it would be in New Hampshire. You'll notice DeSantis isn't doing well in New Hampshire. It's not a Christian evangelical rock, that kind of conservative state. It's more of a libertarian independent state. But here's the point I want to make. Remember again, Trump 44%, Haley 29%, DeSantis 11%, Christie 10%. It's still going to be very tough for Nikki Haley to beat Trump in New Hampshire. And just for some perspective, Trump is beating Nikki Haley in the third state. It'll go Iowa, New Hampshire, then South Carolina. South Carolina is Nikki Haley's own state. It's her home state. She was governor of that state. And Trump is killing Nikki Haley in South Carolina. But so it's even in a perfect state for her of New Hampshire, it's going to be difficult for her to beat Trump. But she has a shot. And here's the point I want to make. Christie, get out of this race right now. Christie, if you truly believe that Donald Trump, no way in hell, should be the nominee, get out. Get out of the race right now and endorse Nikki Haley. New Hampshire is another state, or is a state that's good for a Christie, who's not a rock hard conservative. Christie's is at 10%. Let me be clear about something. There's no way Christie will be the Republican nominee. No way. It's an impossibility. He knows it. Everybody knows it. The Republican base can't stand him. He'll never be the nominee. He's in this race to criticize Trump. He's in this race to promote Christie. I think it's more the latter. Some people think it's more the former. But here's my point. If Christie got out and endorsed Nikki Haley, virtually every one of his voters would go to Nikki Haley. Christie's voters are Nikki Haley's voters. So that 10% would all go to Nikki Haley. Christie can't win. He could help in a big, big way Nikki Haley winning the New Hampshire primary. If he really wanted to stop Trump, Christie would get out. Hell, he can't win New Hampshire. He'd get out and endorse Nikki Haley. I mean, this is put up, shut up time for Christie. You know, a lot of people out there saying, oh, but Joe, we love him out there. He's the only one criticizing Trump. Big deal. Is it more important to criticize Trump every day or stop Trump from becoming the nominee? Christie, I'll ask you that. Those of you who think he's performing a great, important civic service here, criticizing Donald Trump every day, what's more important? Criticizing Donald Trump or stopping Trump from becoming the nominee? Christie can stay in the race forever and criticize Donald Trump forever. He's not going to stop Trump. Republicans don't care what Christie says. They don't listen to him. People who listen to MSNBC, Democrats, people who watch CNN, they listen to Christie, not Republican primary voters. No, it's more important to stop Trump. This is one of those moments where Christie has to put what's best for Christie to the side and put what's best for the country first. And what's best for the country is to make sure Trump isn't the nominee and most certainly isn't president. This would be the most important service Christie could provide. Do I think he will? No. Which is why Trump is still the favorite to win New Hampshire and every other state. But if Christie really wanted to stop him, he'd get out now and he'd endorse Nikki Haley. And all of his voters would go to Nikki Haley. And I implore everybody listening to me right now to tell Christie to do the same. The week before Christmas, let's make it a good one, Joe Walsh, joewalshwhiteflag@gmail.com. My email, joewalshwhiteflag@gmail.com. One word. Have a good week. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow White Flag with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been White Flag with Joe Walsh.